Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is day 19 of healing our anxious attachment style, cultivating a positive self-view, because we now know out of the 4 attachment styles, anxious attachment style produces a negative self-view, and I've talked a lot about how that actually affects us in many circumstances in our life, whether it is trying to get into a relationship with a friend or a lover, or a situation regarding potentially like moving somewhere new that you want to go to, or a job that you might want to have, or a career that you want to embark in, whatever it might be. The anxious attachment style has a negative self-view that keeps us always in a state of anxiety, because deep down inside, our core beliefs reflect those of such as I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, bound to be rejected, bound to be alone. Boom. And then we let fear overtake us, and that anxiety, because anxiety is fear of the future, and we're already predicting our future based on our past, right? Based on what we experienced in the past, we're predicting the future, but now we're changing our programming so then we can bring in different opportunities and different experiences into our lives. And as always, we're going to start off with the book The Magic by Rhonda Byrne, because gratitude is the best way to change any dissatisfaction that we think and feel about ourselves, or negative self-view, any negativity, any resentment, any anger, anything, we can transmute it with this book through gratitude, because gratitude is the best way to get into positivity. And then I was reminded really deeply yesterday that by being positive, we can overcome anything in our life. Because actually, when things happen in our life that feel challenging, we are the ones that give that challenge a meaning, and we make it be catastrophical, and we make it be, why is this happening to us? And why is this here? And it's so terrible, and it's so this, and it's so that. When in reality, as humans, what we're supposed to be doing is finding the positivity in anything that takes place in our life. Because even the challenging things have a purpose, and a positive purpose in our life. So if we can focus on the positive of that experience, or why is this happening for us, as opposed to saying, why is this happening to me, we are going to be able to overcome that experience, and we don't hold it with us anymore. The key to overcoming a challenge is to focus on the positive aspects of it and not complain about it, not keep ruminating about it, because that's how we keep it alive. And also, by not viewing it as a gift, will keep us stuck in that cycle. So as humans, that is supposed to be our greatest lesson and tool to have in our tool belt, is to be able to view anything in its positivity in order for it to go away, so we can keep going with more positive things in our life. And what better way than to be grateful than to go back into positivity? So even today I was speaking to someone that they were sort of complaining about having to drive their parents to the airport during their work shift. And the way that I've been taught to reframe this now, and I am so thankful for this little piece of advice, right? Everything is just a perspective away, just a shift away. We just shift our perspective just a little bit to one side in order for us to view the world differently. So instead of saying, oh man, and I have to drive my parents to the airport, and they didn't even ask me if I can do it, it's in the middle of my workday, how do they not know if I'm not going to be busy? But if you say, oh, I get to drive my parents to the airport, because a lot of people in my age group, especially, are starting to lose their parents, or some people don't even have parents. Like my mom didn't even get to meet her mom because she died when my mom was only 2. And I know so many people that have their parents that have died. So if you think about it in that way, I get to drive my parents to the airport. It already takes away that edge, doesn't it? And then even further, I get to have a car that I can drive. I get to have a car. I get to have a job where I can leave to drive my parents to the airport. Like, how amazing is that, right? Like, already shift, big shift. And that's how we go into gratitude. So for day 19, the magical to-do list. The world is full of magical things waiting for our wits to grow sharper. Really, when we think about it, gratitude is our best friend. It is always there for you, always available to help you. It will never fail you or let you down. And the more heavy you lean on it, the more it will do it for you. And the more it will enrich your life. Today's magical practice will show you how to lean on gratitude even more, so it can do far more magical things for you. And how appropriate to what we were just saying. Every day there are little life problems that come up and need solving. This is true. Every day there are little life problems that come up that need solving, but we get to be alive and we get to solve problems. Sometimes we can feel overwhelmed if we don't know how to solve a situation. Maybe our problem is that we don't have enough time for all the things that we need to do, and you're at a loss because there are only 24 hours in a day. It may be that you feel overwhelmed from work and you want more free time, but you can't see any way to have it. You may be at home taking care of children and you're feeling frazzled or exhausted, but you don't have the means to get support to give you time out. You may be faced with a problem that needs fixing, but you have no idea which way to turn to fix it. You may have lost something and tried your best to locate it, but had no luck. Or you might want to find something like the perfect pet, perfect babysitter, great hairdresser, amazing dentist, a doctor. But despite all your efforts, you haven't been able to find what you need. You could be in an uncomfortable situation because something a person has asked you to do and you don't know how to respond to them. Or you could be in some sort of dispute with someone, and instead of getting it resolved, things are getting worse. The magical to-do list practice will help you with any little day-to-day problems when you don't know what to do, or when you simply want something to be done for you. You will be so amazed at the results. When you combine gratitude's magical power with the law of attraction, people, circumstances, and events must be rearranged to do what you want to be done for you. You will not know how it will happen or how it will be done for you, and that is not your job. And that's why the greatest thing that we can do is like surrender. We place our order to the universe, and when we're in the state of gratitude, according to the David Hawkins diagram of human consciousness, measuring our predominant emotions in hertz, when we're in gratitude, that's when we're in alignment with the flow of life. And where we're in alignment with the flow of life, things are just coming to us, and our job is to just go with the flow. And when you feel resistance, like something is not wanting you, for lack of better words, that doesn't mean that it's because you're not worthy or you're not good enough or it's this or that. It just means that there's something that is meant to be for you that isn't more in alignment with what you want to experience. That's all it means. That's all it means. Don't ever forget that. So, yes, so our job is to simply know that when we're grateful, as you can be for what you want done right now, and be grateful as if it were done, and then let the magic happen. Today, create a written to-do list of the most important thing you would like to be done or resolved for you, and title your list the magical to-do list. You might put things down on your list that you don't have time to do or you don't want to do, along with any current problems, from the smallest day-to-day things to bigger life situations. Think about any area of your life where you need something resolved or done for you. When you finish making your list, choose 3 things from your list to focus on today, and one at a time, imagine that each item has been magically done for you. Imagine that all the people, circumstances, and events have moved to do it for you, and now it is done. Remember that the law of attraction says like attracts like, and that means that when you are grateful for the solutions as though you have them, you will attract everything you need in your life to resolve the situation. And I have this amazing example. I remember one time it was my mother-in-law's birthday, and I wanted to monogram her this bracelet that I had gotten, and I was going to go get it monogrammed, except when I was almost there, I realized that I forgot the bracelet. And I was thinking in my mind, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna buy another bracelet that is the exact same, and they're gonna monogram it for me. And then when I have time, after Mother's Day comes and goes, I will take the other bracelet and I will return it in lieu of this one that I just purchased today, because that's a perfect solution to my dilemma right now. And sure enough, when I went to the counter and I was telling them that I came here to monogram a bracelet and I am so silly, I left it at home, the lady behind the counter, she suggested, oh, why don't we just give you another one right now of the exact same kind and we can monogram it, and when you have time, you can bring the other one back and we'll give you your money back. And that's exactly what happened. I couldn't even believe it. But this is how powerful we are, you guys, because I didn't even start to worry about it. I was like, the solution popped into my mind and I was like, oh, okay, great. So this is an example of how many times I'm just connected to my higher self. That's all that is. It doesn't mean that I'm like this special person. No, it's just like I've done so much work to clear my energetic centers, my third eye and my chakra. So I'm connected to the higher self of mine that is hovering over me, that's connected to spirit, to source energy, God, whatever you believe that it is, whatever it is that you call it. I'm just connected to that. So I'm receiving guidance, but my channels are open so I can hear it. That's the only thing. Okay, so remember that the law of attraction says like attracts like, and that means when you are grateful for the solutions as though you have them, you will attract everything you need in your life to resolve the situation. Focusing on problems attracts more problems. You have to be a magnet to the solution, not a magnet to the problem. And just what we were saying before, when you find the positive into something, that's the best way to be in gratitude. So then you continue to have things to be more grateful for. Therefore, that problem will go away because now it's something that's positive. It's not a challenge, but it is a solution to something that is to your benefit. So for our magical practice number 19, we're going to count our blessings. We're going to make a list of 10 blessings. And as always, 5 of them, if you can say 5 things that you're grateful for about yourself, because I really want you to celebrate yourself, raise your self-esteem, think about yourself as if you're the greatest thing on this planet Earth. I know I was challenged the other day by a family member because they're like, oh, you think you're so great. But I really don't think that I'm that great. But just in that moment, I was like, you know what? I'm like, I am pretty great. Yes, I am pretty great. And I was saying with this conviction, I would never do that. I don't know what got over me. But then I was like, you know what? Why can't we say this? Like, why can't we say that? Is it so much better when I beat myself up in my mind and I like tell myself what a terrible human being I am and how many terrible things I've done in my life, when even those things seem to be like so, I don't know, it's not even like significant, but we give these things so much meaning, and then we're like, oh, I don't deserve anything. I don't deserve to have this job. I don't deserve for that person to love me. I'm such a terrible human being. How could I have done that? And it's like, no, we're all having a human experience, and we're gonna try something, and then sometimes we're like, shit, I tried that and it's not in alignment with who I want to be as a person or my values, so I don't want to do that again because that made me feel really terrible. That's all it is. We don't know unless we try. And then we're going to create a written list of the most important things or problems, situations you need done or solved. Title them your magical to-do list. And you're going to choose 3 of the most important things from your list. And one at a time, imagine that each thing has been done for you. Sit with a feeling. Imagine what that would feel like. I'm going to do this in more depth later on tonight. I know exactly what 3 things I want to focus on. And then we're going to spend at least 1 minute on each thing, believing that it is done and feeling that enormous gratitude in return. And then before we go to bed, we're going to have our little rock and we're going to try to find the best thing that happened to us today so it can force us to not ruminate about all the challenge things that happened or what we could have done different or better or all that other chatter that keeps us in anxiety and doesn't allow us to go to sleep and has us tossing and turning. Forget it. We're gonna go to sleep with gratitude and set ourselves up for a grateful sleep and a grateful morning. And with that being said, we're gonna go to the book by Louise Hay to continue with our self-love, because there's no other better way to receive love from others when we cultivate love for ourselves, because no one can love us. One can only love us to the extent that we love ourselves. So the more we love ourselves, the more others can love us back. So what a wonderful thing to be able to create for ourselves. So day 19, living your attitude of gratitude. And again, how appropriate. I feel like these 2 authors are very much in alignment with each other. By the way, when I did the books, I did them separately. First, I did this one, and then I did the magic. I never did them together, but this seems to be like really powerful. Living your attitude of gratitude. Today's devoted to thanking life for its many gifts and learning how to live with an attitude of gratitude every day. Did you know that prosperity and gratitude go hand in hand? I'm always grateful to I'm always grateful to be one with universal wisdom and backed by universal power. I have noticed that the universe loves gratitude. The more grateful you are, the more goodies you get. When I say goodies, I don't mean only material things. I mean all the people, places, and experiences that make life so wonderfully worth living. You know how great you feel when your life is filled with love and joy and health and creativity, and you get green lights and parking places? This is how our lives are meant to be lived. This is how our lives can be if we are grateful. The universe is a generous, abundant giver, and it likes to be appreciated. Think about how you feel when you give a friend a present. If the person looks at it and frowns or says, "It's not my style," or "I'd never use anything like that," then you will have little desire to ever give that person a present again. This is very true. However, if your friend's eyes dance with delight and she is pleased and thankful, that every time you see something she would like, you would want to give it to her. So even if they didn't like it and they acted like that, yes, that would make you want to buy them more things. For quite some time now, I have been accepting every compliment and every present with the thought, I accept this with joy and pleasure and gratitude. I have learned that the universe loves this expression, and I constantly get the most wonderful presents. I accept this with joy and pleasure and gratitude. Be grateful from the moment you wake up in the morning. If you start the day by saying, "Thank you, bed, for a good night's sleep," and this is what we're practicing gratitude all day, every day. In the evening, just before you go to sleep, well, we are doing that with our magic rock. Yes, and be grateful for all your experiences, even the challenging ones. And yes, we've learned to do that because we get to have these experiences when we learn lessons. So we're doing it all, Louise Hay. Thank you for reminding us. If you feel that you made a mistake or made a decision that was not the best, forgive yourself. Forgiveness is such a big thing for us humans. Forgive yourself. We are only doing the best that we can with the knowledge that we have in any particular point in time. And forgiveness is the best way to set us free from any guilt or shame. We learn to forgive ourselves because that is also what we were taught, if anything, through the trials and tribulations of Jesus. Like, I don't want to turn this into religious, but just that notion of like, forgiveness is for everyone, including ourselves. Be grateful for all the lessons that you have learned, even the painful ones. They are little treasures that have been given to you. And as you learn from them, your life will change for the better. Rejoice when you see a portion of the dark side of yourself, because shadow work is the work that sets us free. You can't have light without the shadow. You can't have night without the day. right? The yin and the yang. You can't have good without the bad, because if you didn't have that bad, how would you know what was good? It's just all part of it. Like, they all exist in conjunction, and they all have a purpose. So attitude of gratitude increases our abundance. Spend as many moments as you can today and every day being grateful for all the good things in your life. When you interact with people, tell them how grateful you are for what they've done. The clerks, the waiters, the postal workers, the employees, employers, family, strangers. Let's make this world of grateful and thankful giving and receiving, and let's affirm, I joyously give to life and life gives back to me. So our mirror exercise for today is, when we wake up in the morning, we're going to say, good morning, bed. I am so grateful for the warmth and comfort you have given me. And then you're going to say your name, Anna. This is a blessed day. All is well. I love you. And then off we go, thinking about all the great news that we're going to see today, and all the great things that are going to happen to us today, and everything that we're going to be embarking on is going to be unfolding so wonderfully, because we are so grateful for our beautiful smile. We are so grateful to feel perfectly healthy today. We are so grateful for having a job to go to today. We are so grateful for all the friends that we have going to meet today, and anything else that you might be embarking on, even if it is being so grateful to go to the grocery store and buy delicious food to make dinner. So I say that now in my mind all the time too. Oh, I get to do the dishes. Instead of being like, oh man, after the dishes, sometimes it's twice a day and it's so annoying, but it's like, no, I get to do dishes. Yay. Like, it just already puts me like, I don't know, in a peppy mood. I don't know how to explain it, but it's working. Okay. So for today's meditation, we are going to, as always, get into a state of comfort by either lying down or sitting upright, taking in your 3 deep breaths, or breathing in love and exhaling anything that's not serving. Exhale longer than inhale. You're open to receiving all the goodness. Your spine is upright, so all your 7 energy centers are spinning joyfully, all the colors of the rainbow. Excuse me, my throat is not quite up to its healthy self, but it's getting there. I'm so grateful for it. And you continue to keep your eyes closed, and I will read Louise's words. Deep at the center of my being, there is an infinite well of gratitude. I now align this gratitude to fill my heart, my body, my mind, my consciousness, my very being. This gratitude radiates out from me in all directions, touching everything in my world, and returns it to me as more to be grateful for. The more gratitude I feel, the more aware I am that the supply is endless. Appreciation and acceptance act like powerful magnets for miracles every moment of the day. Compliments are gifts of prosperity. I have learned to accept them graciously. If somebody compliments me, I smile and I say, thank you. Today is a sacred gift from life. I open my arms wide to receive the full measure of prosperity that the universe offers. Any time of day or night, I can let it in. The universe supports me in every possible way. I live in a loving, abundant, harmonious universe, and I am so grateful. There are times in life, however, when the universe gives to me, but I am not in a position to do anything about giving back. I can think of many people who helped me enormously at times where there was no way I could ever repay them. Later, however, I was able to help others, and that's the way life goes. I relax and I rejoice in the abundance and gratitude that are here now. And now allow yourself to look at the world with love and be willing to receive all the love back. What you see in the world is a reflection of you, a reflection of what is in you. We are all one. We breathe the same air. We have the same desires and needs. We all want to be healthy. We all want to be loved. And we all want to prosper. Affirm perfect health for yourself and the world around you. Affirm comfort and safety for you and those around you. Knowing that what you give returns to you multiplied. Affirm the very best of everything for you and those around you. You deserve it. See yourself accepting it. See those around you accepting it. And so it is. If you feel called to come back to the room, you can feel free to open up your eyes. Otherwise, you can continue to bask in this wonderful feelings. I'm so sorry. My poor puppy is whining again on the outside of the door. I swear, every time I do the meditation, it's like, he's like, Mommy, let me in. Thank you so much again for joining me on this journey. Day 19. We only have 2 more days left. I would really love to know how it's making you feel or if anything is coming up for you. I'm going to be running to this guy over here, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 20. I cannot believe it. So much love and gratitude. I love you so much. Remember that the day God decided to not live with you is the day that he decided that you're going to be born. Your birthday is the day that God decided that he cannot live without you. So remember that you are here for a great purpose and to live life exactly as you want to, with no fear or core beliefs or any attachment styles or unhelpful core beliefs. I already said that. Negative self-use holding us back. With so much love. See you tomorrow.